There comes a moment in life that changes everything. A moment when you finally realize something uncomfortable. Some people don't change. They just learn how to apologize better. At first, you call it forgiveness. You tell yourself you're being mature, strong, understanding. But then the same behavior returns. The same disrespect. The same betrayal, just wrapped in softer words. And that's when it hits you. Forgiveness doesn't always bring peace. Sometimes it invites the pain right back into your life. The Stoics understood this deeply. They never taught blind forgiveness. They taught clarity. They taught discernment. They taught us to study human nature, not to be cynical, but to be wise. Because once you truly see someone for who they are, you can't unsee it. And today's message is not about bitterness, it's about wisdom, the kind that only experience can teach. By the end of this video, you'll understand why there are certain people the Stoics would never allow back into their inner circle. Not out of hatred, but because protecting your peace is an act of virtue. Let's begin. In the ancient world, forgiveness was considered a strength of character, a discipline of the mind. But it was never meant to be unconditional. Seneca once said something most people forget. It is equally a virtue to know whom to forgive and whom to avoid. Some people don't apologize to heal the relationship. They apologize to reset the cycle. The Stoics warned us not to listen to words, but to observe patterns. Because patterns reveal character, and character predicts behavior. The first kind of person the Stoics warned us about is the one who betrays trust with ease. To them, loyalty is disposable. You've seen this person before. The one who turns your vulnerability into gossip, who exposes your private truths for entertainment, attention, or advantage. A Stoic may forgive the past, but never ignores repeated betrayal. Because betrayal isn't an accident. It's a behavior, and behavior rarely changes without deep self-awareness. Letting that person back into your inner circle isn't compassion, it's self-neglect. The second kind of person is the one who never takes responsibility. No matter what happens, they're always the villain, and somehow you're always the village. They twist every situation, every conversation, every conflict. Marcus Aurelius taught that humans naturally make mistakes, but refusing to acknowledge those mistakes is a deeper flaw of character. When someone constantly shifts blame onto you, you begin carrying emotional burdens that were never yours. That's not forgiveness. That's captivity. Letting them back in doesn't heal the wound. It simply restarts the pattern. Next is the person whose life is permanent chaos. Their poor decisions become your emergencies. Their lack of discipline becomes your responsibility. Their crises never end. Epictetus warned us, the worst form of slavery is the one we enter willingly. Some people don't chain you with force. They chain you with constant problems. You forgive them once, then again, then again. And every time, you're the one left exhausted, while they remain unchanged. Compassion without limits slowly turns into self-destruction. Then there is the most subtle type of all, the person who feeds on your kindness. They know you're empathetic. They know you're patient. They know you'll give the benefit of the doubt. So they take, and take, and take. Your time, your energy, your emotional presence. The Stoics believed deeply in compassion, but they also believed in boundaries. Because compassion without boundaries isn't virtue, it's vulnerability without protection. A manipulator doesn't need forgiveness. They need distance. And finally, there is the most dangerous kind of person to forgive. The one who is quietly nourished by your discomfort. They don't celebrate your growth. They don't support your evolution. They downplay your wins and mock your struggles. They may smile. They may stay close. but their actions reveal everything. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." Surround yourself with people who darken your spirit, and eventually you will lose your light. Forgiving someone who delights in your pain isn't noble. It's self-abandonment. So what do? You don't hate them. Hatred keeps you tied to the wound. You don't seek revenge. Revenge keeps you tied to the past. Instead, you detach. Quietly, calmly, completely. In Stoicism, forgiveness is not a ticket back into your life. It is freedom. It is releasing emotional chains, choosing clarity over confusion, choosing self-respect over repeating the same lesson. Your peace is rare. It took years of pain, growth, and awareness to earn it. So ask yourself, why hand it back to someone who has repeatedly shown they don't value it? Forgiveness is a gift, but access is a privilege. And not everyone deserves both. If this message brought clarity, take it as a reminder. Protect your inner world like a fortress. Walk with discernment. Hold your standards high. You cannot control who others choose to be, but you can control who you allow near your soul. If this video resonated with you, share it with someone who may need a moment of Stoic wisdom today. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing to Mindset Archives, where timeless philosophy meets modern life. Until next time, remember, sometimes the most powerful thing you can say is nothing at all.